Hello, welcome back to Average Gamer Plays Factorio. Now, it's been a week or so, maybe even longer, 8 or 9 days, since I last recorded an episode. And the reason for that is that I've been busy trying to work out what I'm going to be doing with this game next, what direction I want to take it in. And I'll go through all the thoughts that I've had on all that in due course. Now, a couple of other things have happened in the meantime. The first is that version 1.1 of the game has been released, so the screen will look slightly different. I think they've tweaked the settings on the graphics, and this part of the display is now in the other opposite corner of the screen. So if some things look a little bit different on the screen, that's because it's the latest version. Now, the other thing that's different is that this is actually a copy of the map that I'm looking at the moment, and the reason that it's a copy is that I'm going to be playing around with some game settings. I'm going to sort of talk through a little bit about what I've been doing and how I do that, because if we have a look at map view and I zoom out, you will see that the map is actually quite large now. It's been quite explored quite a bit. Now, I've not explored it myself by putting down radars or by wandering around. I've done it through console commands, which is maybe slightly cheaty a little bit, but at least I can see. They do say that as you get further and further away from your origin point, and then this is where the origin point roughly is. This is where the spaceship crashed. It's not down there. It's up here near my. That's where the spaceship crashed. So that's like the origin point. And the further away you get from the origin point, the larger the ore patches get. So I wanted to see how far I would have to travel to start getting decent sized ore patches. And like, if we have a look out here, we've got 274 million iron there, 98 million copper, 197 million coal. So they are quite sizable. But I wanted them to get even bigger, because what I want to do with this game is to expand the base to basically as large as I can get it before my computer starts complaining about it, really. So see if I can get to 2,000, 3,000, maybe even more science per minute. And to do that, I'm going to have to mine an awful lot of resources, and I don't really want to have to go sort of miles and miles out of my way to do that. So what I'm going to do on this copy of the game is play around with some console commands to bump up the ore generation settings. And all these are commands that I've got off the Factorio wiki, or versions of them. And I'll actually sort of overlay them on the screen or put them in the description as well, so you can see what commands I'm typing in. I mean, typing in these commands will turn off achievements for the game, but I'm not bothered about achievements at all. So I'm quite happy to do this. So what I'm going to do first, press the back tick key, open up the command console. I'm going to speed the game up to 10 times normal speed. I'm going to copy this command. Well, first I'm going to where are they there? I've got some commands. I've got a copy of Notepad open at the top here, where I'm going to type in, copy this command, go back to the console, paste it in. It's actually this large command up here. It remembers the commands from game to game, even though I deleted the game when I first did this one, and I made another copy of it. So I'm going to type this in again. That should now bump up all the ore generation settings to the very high level. And now if I type in a command such as, let's have a look here, go back. Now if I change these settings, let's go minus 2,000, no, let's go minus 5,000. and minus 5,000. It should go somewhere over to the left. There we go. Now, because I've speeded the game up to 10 times normal speed, it actually doesn't take too long to fill all this in. So what this does is basically bumps up the radius around the player and reveals the map in that radius. Now, I've hard-coded the numbers. There's a version on this on the Factorio wiki where you can increase the radius around the player of revealing the map generation, and then you can teleport the player to different places. But I've put the numbers, basically hard-coded them into the commands. So I type in the coordinates and it just reveals an area around this. So I got the numbers. I went a little bit too far over, so let's just go back to minus 3,000. Just see if I can fill in that little gap in the middle there. There we go. Just so that everything joins up. So all that was generated on the map to the right of the screen on the existing thing on this side was all on the original settings, and everything that's been generated over here is with these new ore generation settings, where I've basically just sort of bumped up the size and the frequency and whatever. So we should now be seeing, so there's 111 million, and that's nowhere near as far away. So that's 32 million. That was all on the original map. 37, 27, 47, 81. So as soon as you start getting not too far away now, 111 million, 103, waiting for it to auto save, 62, 128, 155, 180. So as soon as you start getting, you know, within a reasonable travelling distance, there's larger ore patches showing up. If I just do another one of these commands, so that was 5,000. Let's do 9,000. Just wait for it to generate this one. So there, 188 million, 243, 134, 130. So these are going to be did it actually do that? Yeah, sort of. I'm hoping it actually sort of bumped all this up to very high. I'm trying to do these commands kind of all in one go, and I don't know if I've actually sort of copied and pasted it correctly and it's all worked, to be honest with you. Because these numbers actually do seem to be similar to the numbers that I actually had over on this side. 235, 260, 240, 210. And then over here we've still got 163, 193, so they're not massively massive, are they? Bear with me one second. Right, I've got the wiki open on the screen, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this command. So that says iron ore. I'm going to run this command once per let's get my notepad open again. Let's copy this command into notepad because I need to change the settings. So we've got copper ore. I'm gonna copy and pasted it wrong there. So I'm going to run this command once per that one now says copper ore there. Back, let's just go up and change it to coal. Run that again. Go up again. change it to stone. And then we'll go up again, wait for it to auto-save. We'll go up again to this auto-generation, and we'll do minus 9,000, but I'll do it a little bit lower. It's down here now. We'll see if these numbers look any different. So again, 205 million, 306, 101, 153. So maybe they were right. $264, 205. That's going to be okay, I think. I haven't bumped up the settings on the oil, but there still seems to be sort of quite a few oil patches out there. Let's just do one that is quite a way away. So it's 4,000 each time, because I've got the radius here set to 2,000, so it's sort of 4,000 units from one block to the next. So 9, 13, 17,000, 17,000. So that's just going to be a little bit further over this direction. So you can see the size of the base that I've got now, and then how far out I'm generating the map at the moment. And then these are 383, 249. Yeah, these are starting to get quite chunky, aren't they? 406, 399, 303, and then for uranium we've got 34 million there, 34 million, 44 million. So yeah, 559 million copper there. So that is certainly going to be plenty of resources to build a massive map, and I don't think that is a massively unreasonable distance to travel. So I'm going to be happy with those settings. You may think it's cheating, but I think it's just cheating in a slightly acceptable kind of way, because it's only sort of changing the map settings to what I think I should have done them in the first place when I first created it. I mean, there are other console commands where you can just sort of type in a command and it'll just generate an ore patch where you are. There are other mods where you can paint out the ores or just create them. You can go into creative mode in the sandbox, like I did in the previous episode, and just put ore patches down when you need them. I'm leaving the ore generation at the natural levels, but I've just bumped up the rates just so that I don't have to travel too far. I'm leaving all the other terrain generation settings exactly as I had them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how big a base I can build. I'm in two minds. I might still do a combination of nuclear and solar. Everybody says that for a really large base you want to have solar power because it's sort of quite efficient in terms of the game calculating all the power requirements. So if I'm going to build huge solar arrays, I think I'm going to build them out on these desert areas where it doesn't have to clear so many trees. So it's useful to know where there's a bit of desert that I can use for solar panel arrays, and I don't really want to have to landfill. I've turned the water down on this save, so I'm not going to have to sort of landfill too much, I don't think, but certainly this patch over here is going to be sort of quite good for a very, very large solar panel array. And that's a good area over there with these little lakes and whatever. So I'm going to sort of maybe look into doing that, because I've never really done huge solar panel arrays before, so that's going to be something new for me. And the game is still running at, if we come out of map mode, the game is still running at 10 times normal speed. You can see everything sort of going very, very quickly down the lines there. So I'll come out of this game, because this was only a temporary copy of the game, so I could actually do the map generation and map exploration on it. I'm going to have to redo these commands on the main game. so that they'll still take effect. Let's just turn the game speed back to 1. Okay. So I will quit this one and rejoin the game back in my my main save, and I will do those commands again. Okay, so I'm back in my main game now, the live version. So let's go back into the console and just type in these commands again. That one for iron ore, copper ore, coal, stone. So the other thing that I've been doing in the last week is I've been in this sandbox world and I've been trying to work out factory designs for beaconed factories to make electronic circuits, advanced circuits, processing units, modules, oil, all the sort of things that I'm going to need to expand the factory. And I've got in my blueprints, I've got a book called Beaconed Builds, where I've now put all these blueprints that I've been working on. So I've got a 12 beacon setup to do green circuits. I've got an 8 beacon setup to do green circuits. And if I have a look at these blueprints, I think if I right click to open it, I've put some comments in here about how much it outputs. Sometimes I put information on how much it inputs as well. So I've got factories there for like the red circuits. It takes in 960 and 1280 green circuits and 1280 plastic bars, and it outputs 896 red circuits. So I've got this design there for with a 12 beacon. So there's 12 beacons around each assembly machine. And that's why it's called a 12 beacon design. So I've got this 8 beacon design as well, so that's a lot more compact. It doesn't output anywhere near as much, but it's a lot cheaper to build. So there's a lot of pros and cons and swings and roundabouts with each style of building, and this is why I've sort of blueprinted each one to work out. I still haven't 100% decided which ones I'm going to use in the build. I might start with the 8 beacon builds because they're a little bit cheaper, and then upgrade them to the 12 beacon builds once I've got lots more modules and beacons and whatever to play around with. They do use the 12 beacon ones use an awful lot more power, but you get more resources out of them because it produces them a lot faster and whatever, because there's more beacons around each assembly machine. So it really is, and I've been doing a lot of experiments, and I've been getting bogged down a little bit and tweaking this and changing that, and you know, and I wasn't really enjoying that particular aspect of working out the game. I'd much rather get into building a factory, and it may turn out that these designs that I've come up with aren't suitable for a really, really massive factory, and time will tell on that score. But I've got a plan of action. I know now what I'm going to be doing. So let's go back. So this is the map that I've generated so far in the real game. So we've got some iron, copper, and coal over there. There's another patch of oil over there. So for the module factory, I need iron and copper, and I need coal, and optionally oil, because I need to make the plastic. I need to make plastic bars, and you need coal for that. So you can either drill for the oil and use the oil to turn into petroleum gas to make the plastic, or there's a thing called coal liquefaction in the game where you can just mine the coal and then use that to make the oil and then make the petroleum out of that. So you don't need an oil patch You just need the copper, the iron and the coal, and this is the way that I've done it in previous games. I've used coal liquefaction to have a like completely self-contained factory over on one side that just makes and I'm going to wander over and do a little bit more map exploration on my own just to fill in that gap a little bit, just to see how big this copper patch is at the top here. So that one is, if we have a look on the map, that is now 23 million, and that's 35, and that's 25. So I think with this copper kind of around here, and then this new bit of the map that's being generated should be doing the map generation based on these new settings that I've typed in this console command. Fingers crossed, we shall see. I don't think the patches are going to get massively big until I get a lot further away. There's some more copper. How much is in that one? 6.1 million. Yeah, hopefully I've typed in these commands correctly, and then, you know, time will tell on that score, really. But it should take effect on new chunks that have been generated. Maybe these are still original chunks that have been generated, they're just not been revealed. Maybe I've just got to wander a bit further afield before the... well, that certainly looks like a massive oil copper patch there, doesn't it? 34 million. Yeah. That'll do. So there's certainly going to be plenty of resources around there that I can use. Now, one of the factory designs that I came up with, the massive 12 beacon factory, used about 700 megawatts of power, which is, you know, 3/4 of the capacity of this new nuclear plant that I put down. And that's just purely for that one plant. So that's another reason why I think that the 12 beacon setup is going to be for a little bit later on in the game. So let's have a look at my plan of action. So yes, it was too easy to get bogged down in getting the blueprints perfect. I was doing an awful lot of tweaking and then looking at the settings, and yeah, I was doing too much blueprint designing and not enough game playing, basically. And one thing I've learned from other games that I've played in the past is that the 8 beacon settings, the 8 beacon layouts are really so much more compact. Not that space is a problem on here, but it does mean you've got less trees to clear out and less lakes to fill in with landfill and whatever, so you can just build the game a little bit more easily. Now, I am going to use a few blueprints from other people. I know a lot of people on the forums and on Reddit and whatever are saying, don't use your blueprints from other people, design everything yourself. And I'm going to mostly design things myself. I'm going to use other people's blueprints for belt balancers. I'm going to use Catherine of Sky's building train because I've used that in the past and I think it's very, very, very good. And it saves me having to work out all the combinator logic on the circuits, which is not my forte, I must admit. I'm going to use an existing blueprint that I found for a solar panel array because, again, that is something that's been very cleverly designed to be tileable and just works out. It's got exactly the right ratio for between solar panels and accumulators. So I might start building some solar panels and see if I like it. I don't know if I'll sort of carry on and because you've got to put down, you know, hundreds of thousands of the things, which means you've got to make hundreds of thousands of the things as well. So I might sort of set up a nice little separated, I don't know how far apart I can get a solar panel or an accumulator factory anyway, because you need batteries to make the accumulators and you need sulfuric acid to make the batteries, so you're going to need sort of oil as well. I'm going to be using my own blueprints for things like smelting, the circuit factories, all this stuff that I've actually sort of hinted at over here. A lot of these, some of these blueprints look like ones that I've seen online, And that's because I've just built them myself in previous games and I've kind of remembered them. I think when it gets to this kind of level, there's only so much variation you can do with the design. I know that some of the ones that other people have done have tried to get the ratios absolutely 100% perfect, or the belts output absolutely perfect. I'm not sort of that bothered about that at the moment. So this particular smelting array, when it outputs, it might have a few little gaps on the belts, but that's going to be sort of fine from my point of view. So I'm going to use my own. I'm going to use a mixture of other people's blueprints for certain things that I can't really be bothered to try and work out myself, and then my own blueprints for everything else. So I've done the map exploration things. I'm just looking at my notes of what to talk about on this one. So that's it. So yes, to-do list. Let's have a look. So we're going to have a module factory. I've designed the beacon factories for those. I'm going to add a new, some new tasks here that I'm going to work out. Right. Let's have a look. Yes, set up the building train. Are we making blue belts on the mall? Let's wander down here. We're not making blue belts here yet. So let's set that up. Well, I've got to start getting used to this new new interface layout. So we've got 3 assembly machine 3s. We'll set that to make blue undergrounds. Set that one to make blue belts. And we'll set that one to make blue splitters. And that needs, they all need I can remember finally Shift R to rotate the other way. So let's put some pipes in there. And some undergrounds, because they all need lubricant, which I've conveniently got over here. Now then, that one needs red undergrounds and iron gear wheels. So we can still have I not got any yellow inserters on me? Let's just right. Yes, I've had that set to 0. Let's just set that to sort of 50. So that should bring me some yellow inserters. There it goes. Right, so we'll have a yellow inserter there and a yellow inserter there. Now that needs gears as well, so we'll have some fast inserters. And I have some stack inserters on me at the moment as well. Let's put some stack. Let's put lots and lots of those in there. And then we'll have that. We will need sort of lots of these. I'll set that to 4 stacks of those. Okay, so that needs again gear wheels. So we'll have one of those in there. Output to there. Wait for the bots to bring that. Do I not have any of those in storage? Maybe I don't. Am I not making those on the mall yet? I might not be. Okay. So it's still making those by hand. Right, I definitely need to bump up production. Am I making... Yes, I am making lots of... assembly machine 3s, but... Oh, I think that's just because that is still waiting for the speed modules. Can't use productivity modules to make the speed modules, but I can use speed modules for it. Have I actually got any? How am I doing on my own little module factory? Oh, 16 of those, that's not bad. And I've got one of those. Okay. Why have I only got one of those? What's that waiting for? It's waiting for... We're waiting for red circuits, okay. And they're all getting gobbled up by these first. Right, yeah, so I need to bump up the red circuit production. Right, let's just make sure that we've got... so I've got some... Come on. Come on, let's get stack inserters down there so I can see them. There we go, and then we'll just have the yeah, we're now getting to the stage where there's not enough iron coming in on that. So let's just get rid of all that down there. Let's basically pull another I can just pull maybe a whole line of iron. And I still need to do something like that, so that pulls in from the other lines as well. Yeah, let's let's do something a little bit different here, where we've got right, so the output can come down a little bit further and go along, and do something like that. And then this input can come along there. Now that's a nice new feature in this game, in that let's just upgrade that there. Back, so let's yeah, let's do that. Let's take that off there. Get those feeding in from that belt. that should still leave enough there for that belt, for that inserter to feed this machine here. So yeah, it's a new feature in 1.1 where when you drag a belt and it goes over another one, it automatically puts the undergrounds in for you. So it just makes it a lot easier and quicker to build something, build things. So, so is that now producing sort of enough? Let's have a look. So we've got that there. Let's have another one of those feeding in that one. Because each one of these needs 80 gear wheels. So that is still maybe not enough. That one needs 10 gear wheels. So again, this needs upgrading. Ooh. Along there. So I might do a similar thing here because these machines aren't really getting enough iron coming in to make their gear wheels either. So these are sort of outputting. You know, I wonder if I just put another. Well, I don't want to do that there. Output full. Right, okay, so let's see, that is now working and outputting an awful lot of gear wheels now. You just have a look, it's already made 1500. And that one has made 1200. So these stack inserters really do make a big difference. Now that machine is getting starved because this belt is only enough to feed 2 machines. So I'm going to need to feed another belt, another belt of iron in. Where am I going to do that from? How am I going to do this? Yeah, I'll have a little think about the best way of feeding that in, because it's making these, and this one of course isn't actually getting anything, so I've never actually got as far as feeding in, you know, setting up the inserters into this one. Over there. So anything that's left over there, it will try and pull in. But yeah, I certainly need to have a lot more. Come on. I need to have a lot more gears coming in along here, basically. A lot more gears. So if that is only enough to do 2 machines, let's take that machine up because it's not doing anything at all. Let's get another line. That's going to go there to there. Let's see if I can get another red line coming out. Where can I get that coming from? It's a bit of a mess, but you know, that's why they say, you know, spaghetti factories. Right, so we'll do the same as we had with that one. Let's take this up. And this is probably still only going to be enough for... yeah, that output is going to come... It's going to go... yeah. Try and mirror what I had up there. Oh, come on, out of the way. That'll do. So we actually had 1, 2, 1, 2. Get rid of that one, get rid of that one. Bump that up to assembly 3. Bump that one up to... I don't have any more assembly 3s on me. No, I don't. Going. So that is now assembly 3, that is assembly 3. Do I have... I should have a couple of... speed modules on me. Right, how are we doing for speed modules at the top? We got 9, okay. Now those are all speed 3s, take those 2 out, put those 4 in, see how much of a difference it makes. Item ingredient shortage, okay. Because that isn't... a full belt, so we'll just draw that in from elsewhere. So how am I doing for all my raw materials coming in? Everything there is still looking okay. These patches are getting drained. As expected. Still doing alright for stone. Coal is running out, but I've still got the trains coming in, hopefully. There's certainly plenty of iron coming in on these other lines here. That is all flowing quite nicely. Steel is all coming out quite nicely at the moment. We're not using an awful lot of steel, so that's not moving. Okay, so we've got plenty of gears now coming in. That is now full of not making any more. Red belts. Why was the red belts being taken away from there? Why is it that every single time something puts a red... Why are these robots coming out of that red belt? Let me just change this temporarily to a normal chest. I don't know why the bots feel the need to pick up the red belts and take them somewhere else. But I need these red undergrounds rather, I need those to go in to make the blue undergrounds. But yeah, we're making plenty of blue materials, that's fine. But I definitely need more red circuits coming out to make more modules here. So I'm in the bit of a catch-22 situation at the moment where I need to build a bigger factory to be able to build a big factory. And everything is kind of getting hung up on everything else. But eventually, you know, these red circuits, see, they're all getting gobbled up to make the speed modules, and nothing's getting used to make the productivity modules at the moment. Let me just put those back in there. Yeah, I don't think there's very much I can do, because that's just that's basically all of them coming out of that factory are just getting used up. And everything here so let's I can use productivity modules in those to get more red circuits coming out. Did I have productivity modules in for the nuclear processing? See, I've got a couple in there. That is now getting sort of quite a fair bit of I'll take my productivity modules out of there because I don't think I need them there, to be honest. I need them over here to make the red circuits. See, when you put the productivity modules in, productivity goes up 40%, but the crafting speed goes down 60%, which is why you need the beacons with the speed modules around it to speed it up again. Can I put a couple of beacons? Do I have a couple of beacons? Can I request some beacons? I don't have beacons in the logistic network. Am I making them in the mall? Or was I just handcrafting them? And if I was making them, am I just putting them in a normal chest? Don't think I am there. That was all stuff for nuclear, wasn't it? Or rails. Ah, no, that's those are steam turbines. Steam turbines and beacons kind of look the same from a distance. Right, so what do I need to make beacons with? Let's have a look at the beacon recipe. Steel plate, copper cable, electronic and advanced circuits. Steel plate. Not getting any copper in from that direction, so Can we do this somewhere over the middle here? Steel plate. Right, let's put down an assembly machine over there. Let's do some power all over there. Right, so we need that to be making beacons. We need, let's get a fast inserter there for the steel. And then we're going to need a machine there. Making copper. I'll feed into that, and then I'll feed that out there into a chest, and I will have, yeah, I'll have lots and lots of beacons because we need tons of the stuff. So that is now bringing me the beacons. Good. And of course I'm now running out of red circuits at this end of the factory, so we don't know how many of those we're going to end up making because there's very, very few red circuits coming onto here. And they're all getting used up. Where are we up to with that? That's, you know, getting there. So when that fills up, they'll pass through. So, yeah, it is a case of... right, so how many beacons have I got on me now? I've got 8. Oh, that's all right. So let's just sort of stick a couple. Let's have 1, 2, 3, 4. With another power pole there, and we need speed modules around those. How many of those have we got now? Ooh, that's actually enough for that. Right, so that is now crafting speed 3. So that is producing red circuits at a much faster rate, and then when that purple line gets to the top, we get a free one coming out. So we just basically need a lot more of these. And of course these beacons is affecting that machine as well. So we should be getting slightly more, but I think I probably still need to maybe handcraft the productivity modules because we're still not getting any coming through to the end there. In fact, what I will do, because it's more important that I have the red circuits coming in, let's sort of borrow a lot more of those. That's 17. Right, so all these are now crafting a little bit faster. We're only really getting the productivity bonus off that one because that's the only one with the prod modules in it. Right, so I've got one there. Can I handcraft any? No, I can't. I haven't got enough. I haven't got enough stuff. But the more red circuits we can get coming out here, then the more modules we can get made. We're still probably not going to get anywhere near enough to actually make any productivity modules because they're all getting gobbled up, aren't they? And if I sort of borrow some from here, that is just not going to last long at all. Oh, there was a couple going through. So yeah, this is the awkward sort of catch-22 part of the game where it's just, you know, you're sort of scrabbling for resources just to speed up the factory. But I've got a plan of action now, and that's what I'm going to be working towards over the next sort of however many episodes there are. So with all that said and done, I will leave it there for now, and I will say, see you next time.